Western Chirisa in the house.
My two can diesel with the sizzle, baby.
Yeah, where are these vocals coming from, bro? Where are these vocals coming from? What's up,
Brother,
Kunzagalan? What's up?
let
Why are
me
you
tell
excited? Why
you
so excited?
something. Let
Why
me
you so
tell you
excited?
something.
Tell me
We were
something.
we
Tell me
were
something.
we were in rehearsals and and then one time there's a chunk in one of my characters, one of the
Yeah.
interactions, and it says he sings.
Mm. It
Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. I was like,
right.
hey, that's how I've been running it throughout the rehearsals. And then one day I just come in frivolous, oh, bear, super excited.
Mm.
And then I hit him with the emancipate yourself from mental slavery. And I was like, woo!
Who that? Who that? Who?
And they gave me a mini solo. So I've got a
Oh,
mini solo. Yeah, I've got a mini solo in the play. Your boy, woo, 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 woo.
you woo-wooed your way, yo. Ladies and
I,
gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome,
oh,
welcome, welcome. It's another
welcome, welcome,
episode.
welcome, 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 welcome.
Yo, imi unganayitimbo sasa panopanika nyaya kari kupisa. We just wanna talk about it machitsika. Welcome, welcome. Oh, you know what time it is. Send it to your friends so they also be a part of this. You cannot describe what you feel, huh? We're taking Zimbabwe to the world, huh? Yeah, this is Black and Forth. Welcome, this is Black and Forth.
This is Black and Forth podcast yenyu tichidandauka tichitepfenyura kumativi mana wanjisenyika. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We're
People's
recording this
idol.
one on a special insert, so at this point we can't go through nguva yezvipo. We know that you guys love that, but we're recording
But we
this
could just play you
before
the
we
song
found out.
for the
We
sake
could just
of
play you the song. So for the sake of it. But big shout out to everybody that's getting their ticket for the 19th of July. So excited to see you guys there. I'm surprised there's actually many people who thought this show wasn't for them because the uptick in the amount of people that is since it's
since
crazy.
that clarification.
Since that clarification, it's like I might totally deny no spark. But this is a special one, Mr. Chirisa. Why is it a special one? Why is it a special?
Because we have an Albadina.
Albadina per bridge. But we also
Bridge.
per bridge. We promised people Mabdiravira in the month of June. And in keeping with that spirit of Mabdiravira. Mabdiravira. We are people who fulfill my promise. When we say, yo, we are going to see if we can get so and so. That's what we go out and do. So
this is what we do, man. We've been known.
We've been known. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our absolute pleasure. Please help us welcome Albadina, the girl from the Garden of Eden.
If it ain't Eve herself.
Herself.
Yes.
Blame her for the downfall of mankind.
all of it.
I don't know, y'all.
There's video footage. There's video footage. There's video footage.
There's a little bit of video footage. I'm not gonna lie.
We're wearing clothes because of her. If it weren't for this woman here, everyone would just be walking naked, no job, no work, tending the garden.
Basically, all of the fashion world can thank me. That's all y'all saying. Just saying.
No.
Wow! Did you see how she spun that one?
Wow, she spun it. Typical.
She spun it.
Typical.
Gemma, welcome per bridge. Welcome per bridge, Gemma.
Thanks, guys. It's so good to be here.
Welcome per bridge. So just so you are well aware of where you are. Just so you're well aware. Our podcast, Black and Forth, I mean, that's kind of like the official podcast name. But really and truly, the spirit and the essence of the podcast is, you know how like in and around Zimbabwe, you walk around, there's always grouplings of people seated around either Pajura or just in front of the gate
Yeah,
or Murod or anything. This is that podcast. So
That's
I
the
love
everything
it.
is
podcast.
walk. There's nothing taboo here. You can sing, you can shout, you can
Open.
dance, you can
Hmm.
accuse. You see how we just started with accusations.
Yeah.
Public.
Accusations.
Well, and some really good bars there by Munashe. I was very impressed.
Oh no, yeah, no, don't
Mm.
do that.
Don't do that. Don't do that because the problem the problem is I have to deal with this man after you guys have left. That's that's the problem.
You chose that life, King.
Because
it's
a
this
few weeks
now a
ago
Kandoro problem.
he met Selena. Is it Selena Meyer? And
Serena
Ser-
Miller,
Selena
Sienna
Miller.
Miller.
Sienna Miller. This man met Sienna Miller, and Sienna Miller was like, you're a handsome man. And we haven't had
Beautiful. Hey,
a
you
beautiful man.
you're a beautiful man.
We
Listen,
Oh
haven't
wow, I can
had
see what
the
you're talking about, King. He has not. He's just like
you
handsome
know.
is not
So now
enough.
you're telling him
handsome
that
is
you
not
had the
enough.
vocals. Now he thinks full package. He's going to be a
Woo
problem.
woo
I'm
woo
here for
woo
it. I'm
woo.
here. I'm here for it. I'm excited for your first album, Munashe. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Your
No,
modeling
hey,
career.
listen.
You-
I
How are you,
might.
Gemma?
No, modeling has been
I'm
there.
good.
Oh, come on, it's
How?
come on.
Yeah.
I'm good,
How?
man. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Exci-
It's cold here. Not gonna lie,
yeah.
Zimbabwe is not playing
Uh,
this winter. It came it came
uh,
early and it was like Ndashika and I am not going anywhere. Yo, it's been
Yeah.
cold, but it's good.
I'm here.
We get our good sunny days.
Mm,
I'm currently wearing slippers, which is fabulous. I live in
yeah.
them at the moment. But
I
yeah, man,
mean,
I'm good.
it's a particularly exciting time for you right now. You just dropped an
Yes.
exciting body of work. How is
Yeah,
that?
fire.
How
Singles.
is that feeling? Because this is your first album,
Yeah, the debut,
you know,
crazy.
and
It's crazy.
and you,
Wow, it's
are there,
crazy that your debuts come this late.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Cause you've been a solid fixture on the Zim music circuit. And of course, Rolling Stones cover this, that, and the other.
Thank you. I was waiting
Hey,
for my noise. I really appreciate it. Yeah, man, it's been crazy. So yeah, 10 years in the industry basically. This year marks, and that's yeah, dropping the debut album. I turned 30. I was like, it's time. It's time, And I think I didn't take the process of it lightly,
yeah,
because it's a large body of work. It's a lot of work, and I wanted to really know exactly what the sound, what the story, what the what
right,
what the objective of this album was, before just dropping it. So time wasn't an issue for me. I was like, I'm
right,
not rushing it. When it comes, it comes. But I think a few key things were, working with some really important producers, and some really
right,
important writers and artists who have been a big part of the journey, as well as telling the story of 10 years of a girl from Harare hustling in H-Town to make it as a creative. So yeah, I love it. It's a full visual album as well. So every single song has a visual, which in itself was a lot of work and a feat. But I think just an ode to Zim and how important like the video aspect of music is to us here. So
yeah,
I wanted to make sure you can sit down, turn on your TV, and watch the whole album and
yeah,
notice these awesome things like um, the intro starts, and then ends in a different place, which is actually where the outro ends. And these little moments where, you know what I mean? It just
right.
sort of ties in, and it was a
I
really
read
fun project.
I read somewhere that you shot all the music videos in Zim.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
That's
So most
amazing.
of them in Harare, and
Mm.
then we shot a bit in the Vumba as well. Um, But yeah, it was so much fun. Like I also got to experience different sides of Harare as well. I wanted to add moments that of places that were really important to me. But also like I was standing in Donnybrook Racecourse with a car spinning around me and like all these crazy fun things that I haven't done before. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's been a big journey, this project for sure.
Could you have imagined though? Because you came to us like the moment that we were first exposed to Gemma is Musarova Big Man. Could you
Yeah.
have imagined like you would be here, Rolling Stone, all these international festivals, debut album, you know, was there? Did you have the plan then at Musarova Big Man? Could you okay? This is how, or did the plan come after Musarova Big Man? What was that?
Oh, I think the specifics of what my career was gonna look like, I didn't
Mm,
know a decade ago for sure. But hell yeah, I was planning on debut album, I was planning on big stages, I was planning on magazine covers for sure. Like that was always the goal, you know, and I think the goal is
yeah,
still so like there's so much more that I want to achieve.
yeah,
But I think the part that hasn't changed at all, because you never know how it's gonna go. And when I did Musarawa Bigger Man, I was just a young creative trying to make it um
right,
in the scene and just making music for the love of it. So I didn't there was a lot about the industry I didn't understand yet, you know, like I've learned so much and grown so much about what it takes to be a creative in today's space. But the thing that hasn't changed and that I set out to do right at the beginning was to grow as an artist in my home country. For me, it was incredibly important to be known as a girl from Harare, a girl from Zimbabwe. That
right, right,
was
right.
unwavering. Like, no matter what, I wasn't gonna move and try and make it work in a city with big labels and things. That was never the plan. The plan was I want to make music from my home to my home, and hopefully make it big. And that part I've definitely like always I knew that from day one.
Oh, so you
Mm,
see, that's so interesting because you've pretty much gone on to answer something that I wanted to ask, but also drawing parallels to Kandoro's approach to his work, which was, I mean, you've got the talent and you've got the capability to just go straight into the deep end, throw your hat in on the international circuit, which is something for a while earlier on I was trying to goad uh Kandoro into doing. But he was like, no, 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 no. I'm gonna start local, conquer Zimbabwe before I even try to this, that, and the other, whatnot, whatnot. And I'll admit I had a bit of an opposite approach to things, but having seen how Kandoro's plan has been unfolding and the trajectory that his career is taking, we can safely say he's conquered Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
And we can also safely say you have also done the exact same. And I see the payoff, which is great, which is great. You guys are making me try reevaluate my strategy for a
con-
moment
con-
there.
like
I
it's
see
like
it.
I try to think like I'm so fixated on, and I think I speak for a lot of people here, especially
Yeah.
people
Mm.
that fell in love with you, Pamusarova Big Man, right? Kuti, there was a lot of the sentiment was because I
A
mean
novelty act.
you are young at the time,
We'll be
like
honest.
just want to
Yeah,
hug.
yeah. I get you.
There was an element of, is this a novelty thing? Like,
Yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
yeah,
I
yeah.
completely get that.
And
whatnot.
then to see
But
it
but
and then to see it go on to metamorphosize into Mugadeni,
Yeah.
right? Which is probably like when you think of like sing along anthems on a wholesome thing in the last.
Yeah.
I don't even remember how so old that song. I'm trying to think right now. I'm
It's
realizing
been
that
a
song
while,
is an
bro.
old song, right?
It's actually
Yeah.
now
But
an old song,
it
but
exists like it feels like it's just
it's
yesterday.
right there. It's right
It
there.
feels like
It's
it's right there.
in the
2019,
psyche.
man. Yeah, it's been 6 years.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
It's
solidly
That
in our
wild.
psyche.
It's wild. Yeah, and I
to
think,
so
I think
yeah.
I guess, that's always been a part of a journey. But, as a white woman in a black music
Mm,
space, as a um coming in, and especially coming in doing Zim dancehall, being a fan of Zim
mm,
dancehall, I think definitely, I think my race played a part uh in that sort of like, oh, who's this white chick,
The the
singing a
novelty
Wimpy D
aspect of
track.
it. Yeah,
Absolutely,
yeah.
and I think, I've hoped that over the years it's been like, okay, wait, she can actually sing, that, like,
right, right,
those
right.
moments come to stay.
There's
But I
there's
think,
something here.
yeah, yeah, and there's been so much privilege attached to my race in the beginning stages, definitely, of who is this chick? Let's click on this thing. But at the end of the day, I guess the thing that I've always sort of really hoped would shine through and pushed for is that, white aside, I'm Zimbabwean, you know, and I want to make music that I grew up listening to, you know. I want to make music that is an ode to Bob Nyabinde. I want to make music that has Sungura elements in the guitars, because those are the things that, music is so personal, and it's so ingrained, and especially as a creative who started writing music from a young age, like, these are the things that I really, that shaped me as a creative. So
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that, those that I could fuse those elements. And I think the music I make very much is a fusion, between a few things, between, these Zimbabwean influences, between studying as a jazz instrumentalist and then as someone who writes like pop melodies. Um, but but yeah, I'm really glad that I, have. I am glad what the last 10 years has brought and ultimately has ended in this project that basically is an ode to everything. It's, I worked with Ozkid, on a track on the album specifically as an ode to Mugaden, these little things of like these moments that have built me, and yeah, and now we're here. Our girl from Harare.
It, it's very interesting, like the way you put it, because I was going to ask you that two things have happened in your career. There's in the beginning, like you rightfully put it, the novelty aspect of it all. Like this is a white woman who's getting into this space. She's singing Musarova Big Man, which is a cult classic. So
Yeah.
there's definitely going to be
Yeah,
attention that's coming from there.
yeah.
Uh, but now 10 years later, when you look at those things, do you think you've benefited more from being an outlier in this space? Uh, because at the same time, it's also easy to dismiss you as a white woman singing Zim dancehall.
Yeah.
It's easy to not take you seriously, to say, "I wa kangori
Yeah,
gani
just a
ndingini,"
novelty
you
thing.
know, no, I wa ndingini saka nata." So
Yeah.
when you put those two together in retrospect, do you think it has worked more to you, or do you think it has been a con? What are your feelings on that?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question.
Hmm. Aiwa,
I
uri
think
kuona
it's done.
chii Jema?
Yeah,
Before
Gemma,
you answer,
ungamudzi.
uri kuona chii? Uri kuona chii?
Wonaga.
Pa bridge ka, but
Fabrizio.
ora, majeez,
Majeez
ora,
are majeez are intellectually
majeez,
stimulated.
ari, ora.
I love it. I love it. You guys are you're coming with the questions. I think it's done both. I think
Right.
absolutely. Like I said, there was definitely a privilege that came with my race where it was. It was a novelty, and probably still is, and I'm sure it will be for some people forever, as this,
Mm,
because at the end of the day, it isn't normal. You know what I mean? There aren't a lot of white people who are in the Zim dancehall space who are singing in Vernac. Like it's just it is a bit of a novelty, you know. But and I'm sure in a lot of ways that definitely has played a part in my growth. I think on the other hand, that it doesn't always mean that you are taken seriously potentially, like you said, you know, and that some people will be like, "Meh." And I also get that I'm not for everybody. That's okay, you know. Nobody is. I think that's the beauty of the industry, right? Is that you know, there'll be people who absolutely adore Felinandi. There'll be Jar fans and Winky fans and Nutty-O fans, and that's great. And my goal has never been to please everybody, or to make music for everybody. I make music for me and for home and for whoever is listening. And I guess I guess there's two sides of this coin, you know, this Gemma coin. And ultimately, I think I've just tried to walk my journey as authentically as possible, as a girl who grew up in the city, and show, way, yeah, and I guess show people a little bit of my Harare, my version of this city that I believe is truly gold, you know, all the beautiful, beautiful things. Yeah.
You saw at some point I was doing the finger wag, right? And that's because for a good while, you're right, absolutely. Certainly during your kind of insurgence and your arrival onto the scene, I get the novelty thingy-majig. But where I think you've ultimately won, from my perspective, I may be wrong, but from my perspective, where I feel like you've ultimately won is that you have transcended the novelty aspect of it to a point where you're now regarded as a consistent fixture in Zim music. I think you've gone beyond the race thing, to be brutally honest, because it's been slappers, like
Thank you.
slappers, slap. Yeah, 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 yeah.
I appreciate that.
Machatarisa.
Hey, hey, almighty one.
Like
No, man, and I guess
d-
that's the goal, right? Is that like, you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
man.
is to ultimately to be like, okay, cool, like this is, you know, at the first discovery of this hun, and everybody's like, oh, this is interesting. But what I'm hoping that
Hmm.
people stay for is like, damn, those vocals though, and that song
Yeah,
though, and that video though, you
ex-
know, and I've been working hard, so
exactly.
I should hope I'm sticking around, you know.
No, 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 no. You. For me, from where I stand, I mean, art is subjective.
the,
It's for everyone else to make up their own minds. But from where I'm standing, I think you've gone well beyond the
the
panakam vet karimba. No, no. Now it's like
Yeah.
now when we think female
mm,
songwriters, performers,
yeah.
musicians, songstresses, whatever you want to call it, you are firmly in
It's very hard to
in that.
ignore. It's
Yeah,
very
yeah,
hard to
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
ignore.
yeah, yeah. No,
Very hard to dismiss.
yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna make it
It's
harder for you
gone.
as well.
It's
I'm just gonna keep dropping
Uh,
bangers. You're not allowed to ignore this
that,
shit, dog.
please, no, 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 no.
so
You've already won me over. You don't have to make it
so
harder for me.
Oh, thank you.
It's for the haters.
I
But
want
you're good. I
I want
think
to throw a
you're there. You're
curveball
there.
to you, Gemma. I want to throw a curveball. So there was a time when you went on a run of features,
Yeah.
right? There was a time when you went on a run of features and you were showing up on songs and doing these crazy vocal runs. I think one of my personal favorite is One Call Away with Aishan on Bundu Pop, which turned out to be Bundu
Yeah, that
Pop Volume
note
1.
at the end, I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know you're talking about that note.
Do you
She
do
knows
you
it.
you know it? So do you have like a favorite? Do you have like a favorite feature where you're like, yo, this one I showed up to the studio and was like when I heard this song
You
during
know
that time.
what? Ish.
Mm,
Okay, so I have a couple for different reasons, but I also think, like you said,
right.
like I really did. I have done a lot of features over the last decade, and I've worked with a lot of different artists because I love collaboration. I love getting into a creative space because I think it grows you, it stretches you, you learn a lot, right? I think a couple that definitely come to mind, um, besides obviously Garden, which we've talked about, which was the inaugural collab and one of the biggest, But I think there's been a couple, I think. Definitely, I think One Call Away vocally, I really, really enjoyed. And that was really fun, and I had a lot of freedom on that one. I think working with, like, even remixes, like the remix of Ndinewe, which I did with Baraka the Prince and Linux in Tanzania, was really cool because, like, I love that East African flavor. Um,
Yeah.
and I think even from like a standpoint of being able to write something quite edgy and quite cool, the track that I did with Brownie Pondus called Sugarcane, he's from Nigeria, was really fun. And I guess more recently, like Tariro with Feli Nandi, was something really
Mm.
interesting and really different for me as well because it was kind of, we sat in the studio and said like, okay, this is the music you make, this is the music I make, how do we meet in the middle? And I think one of the main things we focused on doing was, instead of doing a collaboration, we wanted to more do a duet, where we were both
Right.
harmonizing the whole time. So I think that's a great example of why I love collabs, is just you end up stretching yourself creatively in such a fun and different way. But yeah, I guess the list kind of goes on and on. Like I don't put out
I'm
music
hurt.
that I don't
I am
like.
hurt. I am hurt. You Peace of Mind didn't pop up.
Oh, Peace
Peace
of
of
Mind. Oh
Mind, the
yeah,
K Chaps.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Peace of
No,
Mind, the K
that's a
Chaps didn't.
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful track as well. Yeah, no. That's what I'm saying. Like this, like I didn't put out anything that I wasn't proud of, or that I
I,
didn't
I,
love. So,
I. The reason why I honestly brought this conversation here is so that I could label further accusation. I was personally hurt that neither you nor K Chaps agreed to do a video for Peace of Mind, because like when you hear certain songs and you can visualize the storyline because the music is so
yeah.
beautiful, and then these two people then decide with us to do a video.
I know,
Because
and
I feel like Peace of Mind is slept on.
yeah, it needed it. I know it needed a video for sure. Yeah, I guess that's the backside of it, hey, is like whatever's
Mm,
happening in both of your schedules and both of your, because we definitely were
right.
aiming on that. Like that was definitely a goal, But I think when people are traveling and touring and schedules aren't lining up and it's all it just yeah, it's sometimes not as simple, but absolutely, like that's definitely a beautiful piece of music right there. And Kay is such an amazing writer. So yeah, he's an amazing writer, I'd say, definitely.
Do you know? Do you know?
What?
Till this day, the amount of people who are like, oh, I spotted you in that Gemma and Casper and your vest song,
And
and
you look
I
fly.
was like,
Did
guys,
you look
I
beautiful,
was like,
Menashe?
I was like, guys, hey, not my
I'm just a
words.
I'm just a young boy.
I'm just a young boy.
I'm just a
I'm
boy.
just
I was just there.
I'm just, me, from time to time, I lend my looks and my beauty.
This you see the oh my goodness. You
I'm
see the
starting
things
to
that I
get
have to
what you're
do.
on about, King. Yeah, I get you.
You see, you speaking
No,
of music
your
videos.
words. Your
Speaking,
words,
I
not
mean,
mine. Your words,
speaking
not.
of
Hey, yeah.
speaking of music
Eh,
videos,
Yeah.
as an artist, I've always wondered, as an artist, is there a moratorium on when you can do a music video? Like, like say for whatever reason you hadn't done all the videos on Gemma this album, right?
Yeah.
But for maybe for budget reasons, but there's certain song where you're like, I have this specific vision of what I want to do, and things are not aligning. Is there a cutoff where you can't come back and do that video 5 years from now? Because I've always felt like the certain songs like, oh my goodness, what's happening? She's disappeared again.
Yeah. I'm here.
Yeah, but we still would have had to. I mean, we can do another one because it looks very likely that the people will be like, "Yeah, we need a part two." It always happens. We need, and then they'll send their own
Ah,
questions. We need you to ask Gemma if she would come to my garden.
We need you to ask Gemma if she's single.
that's always the question, isn't it?
It's a
It's
common
a
one.
very common
It's
one.
a common one.
One day I'm gonna
Is
hard
she?
launch like a husband with
Is
12
she?
kids or something. Who knows, bro? At this point,
Those soft
I'm
12
joking. I'm
kids.
joking. I have no children.
And then and then and then and then and then
I think the
everyone's gonna be
closest.
like, no
I
wonder
see.
it took 10
I
years
see.
for a debut
I see what you
album.
did there. No,
What?
but did you see what she
I
did there?
deflected.
She did. She did. She subtracted. No, you didn't. I don't know if it was a subconscious thing. She said one day I'm going to launch a husband with 12 kids, right? And then you then
I don't
disqualified and
have
said
12
I don't
kids.
have 12 kids, but you didn't say you don't have a husband
I didn't say nothing.
One
though.
one day
One day when
you
you turn off
see?
this recording, I'll tell you everything,
one
bro.
day we're
No,
gonna
I'm
hit
joking.
them.
Okay. Nah,
One day,
that's
one day we're just gonna pop out and say, yeah, me
There we
and
go.
Menashe are
I love it.
married
I love it.
now.
I've even once researched. I was just curious if anyone had figured out anything about that part of life, and I just Gemma Griffiths, like dating life or husband or what or boyfriend or whatever, whatever. Nobody knows that, bro. I love it. I love it.
yeah.
It's hilarious.
You know
Okay.
what? I love that for you. I love that for
Yeah.
you.
Hilarious.
It's
Wow.
great.
Because it must be a stressful part of this
Yeah.
world though, where people's curiosity is often attached to what feels to an extent like an invasion of privacy. How have you managed to
Yeah,
keep
I guess
those
I guess
separations?
like my approach to this part of the industry and this part of like being in the public space is just focusing on the parts that I'm comfortable having public and also realizing that not everything has to be, and I think that was something that I also learned through the journey because it's hard to know what it is like to be in the public eye when you're not yet, to know what it's like to have everybody's opinions, no matter what you're putting out there, like people are going to have opinions. And I've noticed it, some people are like, oh my gosh, I love your tattoos. Some people are like, why do you have so many tattoos? Someone will be like, oh, what a nice outfit. And the next person will be like, why are you wearing that? You know what I mean? Like you can never please everybody. So for me, it was always a
Yeah,
decision of
yeah,
like, okay,
totally.
there are certain things that I'm very comfortable to allow into that ether and allow everybody's opinions on. And there are certain things that I'm like, no, at some point, privacy is a luxury. You don't, because once it's out there, and you have no control of what everybody
Yeah.
thinks, and so yeah, I guess it's just deciding as a person, not as a brand per se, like what is yours, you know. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
no, I mean, cause you're a baddie, God. The people wanna know.
Thanks. Yeah, H-Town baddie.
But
H-Town baddie. Yeah, like I joked, one day I'll just hard launch Menashe.
yeah, yeah. We don't have to soft launch them, babes. It's okay. It's okay. It's
Let me tell
we
you, let me tell you,
Yeah,
let me tell
slap
you,
them with it.
Gemma. Munashe, this is what, the 58th
yeah.
episode? Been doing this for a while now. This is the first time I have seen this man show up with a shirt and
Oh
he has
wow.
opened his
Is that for me,
chest.
Menashe? Is that for me?
He-
Wow.
he's like,
I got an
he's,
ice
he's,
block where my heart used to
he's
be.
like a Zimbabwean pendant. What? Let me, girl from, yeah,
Uh,
por, por
uh,
favor, Montoya.
Montoya
It's getting steamy in here,
Vuvu.
guys. Oh, I love it.
Woo!
I've never seen,
I
Oh,
wipe my camera
I
because
wanted
it's
you to know,
misting up.
Kuti, these are the
It's
things that
misting
you're
Menashe,
up.
that you're
thanks.
doing,
What's
but
your
we love
number?
it. Gemma, what? Yeah. I wanted to ask you something about
Yes.
songwriters. The idea of like it's been a somewhat I don't know if I can say raging debate. I don't think there's been a rage, but it's been a
Yeah.
it's come up in conversation. The idea of embracing the notion of songwriters. And I wanted to ask you because you're somebody who has collaborated with many and who has publicly credited the people that you have worked on songs. And I think you've come out and said Enzo Aisha was one of your favorite um, collaborators. Do you think it's a like? I guess it's a
Yeah.
multi-pronged question. First, to begin with, I can't ask you where your stance is because obviously you
Yeah.
clearly embrace it. But in terms of the state of the industry, do you think it's something that you would otherwise advocate for? Because the times that it has popped up, it's been people recognizing, okay, this guy is an incredible performer and vocal, but we feel like some of the songs are getting repetitive in theme, and so we're encouraging. So, and I understand why that conversation wouldn't be embraced by the artist because it's coming from a
Hmm.
disparaging place. But
Mm.
disparaging outside what do you think about the notion of in terms of where the state of the music is and embracing it? Is it something that more
Absolutely.
people
I
should be
think,
embracing?
and in the wider music space internationally, songwriting is absolutely a huge part of the building of all, if not almost all artists.
Artist
you
development.
know there are very, very few artists that I know
Mm,
of who have never worked with a songwriter. And I think that's the thing, is also maybe because we do, I know a lot of artists in Zim who work with songwriters, whether they publicly talk about it or not, I'm not sure. But I also know a lot of artists, and myself, I've worked with songwriters, and I've worked with quite a few songwriters. I have also written songs for a lot of other people. um, and
y-
but I've also
yes.
written the majority of my own music, and I think I think it's first grasping and understanding, not only as people in the industry but as an audience, that it's a large feat to create something, right? So it would be, songwriting is an entire
Mm.
career internationally as its own thing. It's like
Right.
approaching
Right.
filmmaking and saying, like,
Yeah,
if you're a director, you have to film,
a
you have
script
to film the
writer.
music video, you have to color grade the music video, you have to edit the music video, you have to do the lighting, you have to do the production. Like, those are all different jobs, that, and obviously in the Zimbabwean music space, we
Yeah.
have sort of come into sort of a habit of having to wear a lot of hats, having to do a lot of things. The artist also manages their own social media page, who also writes the music. A lot of artists even produce their own music. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of elements that we end up doing a lot of. Like, I do my own video production for my music videos, and to a degree, a lot of the direction as well. All of the scouting. Like, we end up wearing all these hats, but there's no shame in also recognizing that, no, this is an entire career. Songwriters overseas, like, that's your entire job. And um, I think there's so much merit in recognizing it as a strength, not a weakness, because that's where I was saying the audience also needs to realize. I've heard a lot of people who aren't in the scene at all go like, oh, but did you know he didn't even write that song? He doesn't even write his own music. So, like, I don't
Mm,
see, that's not a bad thing
You know,
necessarily,
you know.
No.
it's not.
It's the equivalent. It's the equivalent of saying, yeah, they said Christopher Nolan directed that movie, but really and truly, the cinematographer was this other
Yeah.
guy,
It's like, and I think,
or he
yeah,
didn't write he
it's
didn't
that
write the
exact thing. It's like,
script.
yeah.
It's a
And maybe I think movies,
collaborative.
like, are a great example of, like, okay, because it's not all focused on one individual. It's a movie, right? So if you start to think of an artist or an album or a song in a similar light, as much as there is the artist, and I think that's where the tricky part is
Yeah.
everybody is focused so much on this one individual, but that one individual did not do that by themselves,
Right.
or it's very, very
Right.
unlikely that they did. There are huge teams behind these projects. And so I
Absolutely.
think Yeah,
sound
yeah.
engineers,
There's
mixing
so
and
much that goes into it, you
mastering.
know. Like just click on any music video that you love or any album that you love and go to the credits. And it should, if everybody's done their job right, be really long, you know. Um, but yeah, I guess it's an interesting one because there is also that part of like me, for example, where you know I would say first and foremost, my first love in music is songwriting. That's my number one favorite part of it. And I
Right.
think something that I've really enjoyed is being a songwriter, a ghostwriter in a way, you know, for other people. And but I also
Mm.
recognize that a lot of the music that I want that maybe like I write something and I'm like, well, this doesn't actually fit with anything I'm doing as a project, but you know, I know somebody that could actually really use that or work with that. And sometimes like you're trying to achieve something in
Mm.
particular. So for example, like if I'm working on a chill spot rhythm, like you said, Enzo Aisha, like we wrote
Mm.
Titungamire together. Because I just knew his understanding of rhythms and the way that he wrote was something that I really wanted to channel. Like it's, I would say it's a lot to do with how we
Yeah.
view it. That could end up being our weakness, not our strength in that area. You know, I
Mm.
say like
Going
yeah,
to clip this part and send it to Zim Celebs so Zim Celebs can say Gemma
yes, let's
Griffith
go,
speaks.
let's
Gemma
go.
speaks.
Yeah.
Gemma,
I guess I don't know.
Gemma.
It's such an. I've never been asked that
Have you?
question, but it's something that I've always sort of felt quite strongly about. You know, like
Mm.
um,
Pa
bridge.
bridge,
That's
Gemma, pa
where we're at, man. That's
bridge,
where we're at.
pa bridge, pa pa bridge.
Yeah,
You see the thing here. You see this thing here.
yeah,
CNN
yeah. Oh,
ouges
I
here.
see. Up.
Pa
Okay,
bridge.
that's actually out of the screen.
Above.
You can't even see it.
Yeah,
Above.
Above.
up
It's above. It's
above.
above. It's above all
Exactly,
of
it's
that.
out of the screen. It's about
What?
because you see the thing is all these people will have people that are paying for our opinions are ours. We
Yes,
ask what the people want to
yes.
hear.
Yeah.
You know, we
Yeah.
straight live. You know everything, and it's a balance. But hey, man, if we ever forget and ever get distracted in all this fun, really and truly what this conversation is per bridge, we always try to get people that we're fans of, so what,
Absolutely.
as exaggerated as what, and in the fun of everything that Munashi and I are saying, we are big fans of yours. I think this is something that
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but we
100.
just wanted to say it in public, like we're big fans of yours, been following this journey for a while, happy to see where it
Absolutely.
has got, like all these flowers, all these fruits of labor. I mean, you went on tour with Babashiro, who is, for me, I
Hey,
was raised
don't get
Babashiro.
Candizo started
Like,
on Baba.
like when
Oh.
I'm like Babashiro is like, when people say
Yo.
Babashiro, I also like I'm
Yeah, you're
also
like
part
I'm
of
also
his kids.
Shero.
Like,
Have you seen his
I'm,
record? If he's one of them. If you
you
see his
know,
record collection,
Yeah,
it's nuts.
it's
From Nicholas
really.
Zachariah,
to like
like, oh
I'm
Oh,
a
man,
amazing.
Sungura guy. So
like
when I
he's
saw that,
yeah.
when
Oh,
I saw that
vinyl,
We
not
need to
vinyl,
not
compete because I have a decent
like
collection,
yeah.
but I feel like yours
legit,
sounds like
legit.
it's way better.
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah. Mine
I
is a
promise you, yours ain't got nothing on
mine
Candizo's.
is a bit crazy because it
Ah,
also includes some that I stole.
Love it. From your parents?
You know, S-
Okay,
let's
cool.
that's confidential now, Jim. You're asking too much.
Amazing.
Let's
No,
not do that.
yeah.
Who's asking
Uh,
now? What is this? Is this
I,
ID? What
who
is
sent
this?
you?
Who
Who
sent you?
you
sent
What
you?
know,
is
my
this? Is this
Who
birthday,
ID?
my
you
What
working
birthday
is
is
it?
for?
coming up this
What
year,
is it?
and it was also last year, and my
Are you
birthday
a
is also
spy?
next year. In case, just saying.
And it was also last year. I think in line with
Yeah.
the Bashiro thought, right? I wanted to ask you, which is your favorite city to perform in Zim? Which is your favorite
Woo!
city to perform
Okay.
outside Zim?
In Zim, I've had some really, really fun shows. And when we did the A Girl from Harare tour, like we did 11 shows across
Mm.
the country. And I think ones that really stood out um, were, I think Harare obviously being home and stuff has always been really fun. But I really had a very, very fun show in Mutare. And I had a really, really fun show in Bulawayo as well. So
Mm.
both of those definitely stood out on the tour for me. Worldwide, I would say there's been a couple places that really hit home. With Balashero, actually, Perth was crazy. I loved the Perth show. That was so much fun. It was like in this underground like music bar kind of. And then obviously London. I love
Right.
performing in London. That's always really cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, we did Dallas as well last year, which was really fun. I don't know. There's the thing is, whenever you are performing abroad and there are Zimbabweans involved, you know it's going to be a good time. That's as simple as that. You know, if there's Zimbos around, you're kind of set, right? Because
Mm.
everybody's so just like you feel like you're at home. They get it.
They get it.
Yeah,
They get
yeah,
it. They immediately get it. They don't need to
yeah.
be sold on what's happening. They and so is there a tour planned for this body of work now? When
So we
does that
haven't
kick off?
fully finalized slash announced everything, but I definitely plan on seeing a lot of people around the world. That's for damn sure. Yeah, I need to tour this body of work. I want to show everybody this
Co-
new
co-
music.
I can
Okay,
imagine.
come to
Come to
Slough. Cool.
Slough.
Hey, Munash,
He's like,
that's that's too specific a place. Like it's not even, yeah. It's not even come to the UK. It's like come to Slough. Like come on, bro.
a one man show.
You don't you don't need hotel accommodation.
Like
You know, I'll 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 host
This
you.
guy.
I'll
Have we
host you.
vetted him? Have we
this
vetted
guy,
him,
he's,
King?
you know, talking out of what do, talking
I've
out of
got a
talking out of
I've
what
got
I don't joke. I don't
I've got
say. I show unzanyaka.
I've got I've got a one bedroom flat, but I'll take the futon.
You have a
You know,
futon? That's very
you see
fancy.
that futon over there. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It pulls out, and then I'll stay
Cool,
there.
man.
You can
I'll
have my
keep that in
room.
mind. I'll keep that in mind when I
I'll keep I'll keep that
There's a
in mind.
venue. There's a venue down the road,
That dope,
and
dope.
Yeah.
we,
Oh
we,
man. That
no, I'm
so
just
Yeah,
hospitality,
we've got your
guys. I'm just
hospitality on record.
hospitality.
I'm
hospitality.
just saying.
Hospitality.
Just
Gemma.
Yo,
hospitality.
Uh Gemma, we have a top 5 segment
yeah.
on every episode of this podcast. It's a highly contagious, section of the podcast where we
Heavily coveted at this
heavily
point
coveted.
now.
It's a top five. We bring up we rank top five
Okay.
things within Zimbabwe, of course. So we've had top five. Most recently it was top five ZBC homegrown shows. We've had top five,
Yeah.
foods, things like that.
Top five snacks,
It's top
boarding
five snacks
snacks.
and
Top five
Okay.
war
top
cries.
five
Okay.
war cries, things like that. So our top five is proudly brought to you by
Love it.
Changamiri Coffee.
Changamere coffee.
They're the
I'm
ones
a
that
coffee
Are you
drinker.
a
I wake
coffee
up first thing in
drinker?
the morning
you're a
and I
coffee drinker.
drink a cauldron of caffeine. Yeah.
Yeah,
Le-
well, you are just the perfect candidate for this. We've got Changamire coffee, homegrown, Eastern Highlands.
you know,
Um,
so
it's a market that
Amazing.
Zimbabweans hardly penetrate with such prominence,
yeah,
but they're
so
sick.
Yeah, and the
they're
Eastern
sick.
Very.
Highlands,
Changamiri Coffee,
honestly,
they've got
Eastern
different
Highlands has the
flavors.
best
It's
coffee, I would say. We, yeah.
Yeah. So
Can you
that's
send?
that,
Are you
that's where
sending
they
this
get
to
it.
me?
Coffee made by kings. We'll
Put
make
it
a
through the
plan.
Oh
We'll
ping.
no,
get
no,
we need to
no,
we'll make a
we
plan. We
are,
need to get
Yeah.
let
Oh,
easy.
thank you.
Receive it, catch it now.
catch.
Yeah, yeah, there you
Thank you.
go.
We have a special
Perfect. So
effects
I'll
guy
just do this.
here. We'll do the
He will
the
do
spe-
the
Insert. Okay.
yeah.
no, 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 no. In all fairness, I'm not gonna minimize Kandoro's efforts. I would like it to be known and have it
Yeah.
on record. And I think it's very criminal that it's taken us 58 episodes or so for me to even commend you on this, my brother. So you see
What
your
are we
boy
talking?
has been out there. Once upon a time in early days, it was kind of like, you cut this episode, I cut this episode, yeah, this, that, and the other. But things went a bit awry with my schedule. But I want everyone watching and listening to know that Kandoro has been absolutely on top of his game in terms of editing these episodes and publishing them, and
Thank you, brother.
also cutting the social media content. Thank you, my bro.
Thank you, thank you,
Like
thank you, thank you,
he's
thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, bro. So
He's
we are
soldiered it. He's carried
we
it.
are
He's
we
so
ho-
I shan't minimize it by giving people the impression that we might have another
right,
This
right,
shadowy
is
right, right.
character
this is your
editing.
job,
No,
Pandoro. You have to put
no,
the
no. It's
To,
it's
to put,
my man.
we'll figure it out.
He's at
We'll
that.
figure. Yeah,
Listen. It's my boy. Give him his
yes.
yeah,
flowers. Let's rate
yeah.
it. I rate the grind and there's sometimes where we slap an 11:54 p.m. episode by like 2 p.m. following day, episodes cut with
It's
social
out.
media edits and whatnot. Let's
No,
not
it's a
take that
lot of work,
lightly
man. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
because
Send
Yeah.
those
it's
coffees.
not easy.
Yeah,
It's not
Big up,
easy.
boy.
So big up
Yeah, as a
yourself.
new
Big up yourself,
podcaster
thanks,
as
big up.
well,
brother.
I'd say, yo, I have so much
So
respect
Big up my
for
bro.
you guys. Honestly,
yeah,
so good.
we were
You
actually
see, you
going to
feel
get
it,
to
right?
hello hi.
You
We're
know
actually
what
going
is
to yeah.
Oh
you
yeah,
respect and
absolutely.
recognize the
Yeah.
Yee.
on top of the
It's a lot.
gameness you have to
It's a
be.
lot, a lot.
Yeah. And he's
It's a lot.
yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a
It's
lot, a
it's
lot.
a lot. It's a lot, and he's been bearing the brunt of that. So I've
Yeah,
got to give you
Yes.
credit publicly.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
so big shout out to Changamiri Coffee for sponsoring our top 5 segment, which today features the lovely Gemma. Gemma, our top 5 is something that is near
Okay.
and dear your heart. I knew immediately
I
that
already
this is
know
something that you
Gemma's
can.
first condiment.
Yeah, that's
I
it.
already know
So
it.
top 5
Okay.
Zimbabwean condiments. Top top 5, top 5. We have to come up with a
Okay.
comprehensive together at top
Watch our
5. So
plug.
if you say something that we
Watch our
disagree, we're going to
plug.
debate. We're going to disagree.
I know she finna plug. I can
But
already tell
yeah.
she finna plug hard.
And nothing is
Okay.
not consistent,
know.
Munashe.
What's
Munyu.
Okay. Chili, lili. Salt number 2 because
yeah.
and you know what? I have a qualm with people who say like taste the food before you put salt on it. I never do that. I
No.
put the salt. Right.
So
put
you know
salt
what?
immediately.
It's either you know or you don't.
You see, this is the mark of someone who can cook. Like I never taste my food until
Yeah.
ndapakura because
Mm.
I know my levels. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
But even if I didn't cook it,
like,
I'll still put salt on it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No. I'm gonna no.
Yeah, like
Once I serve, I can because
Mm.
you'd rather undersalt it than oversalt it.
yeah.
Because the latter is a headache of a fix. You put too much
Yeah.
salt. You chuck in an oxo cube, it's salted, and then you throw in salt, and then you might throw in like a season and whatnot, which is like a multi blend, which also has some salt. And then
All right, Mr. Chirisa, Makutes a CV hapa. We can like this. Yet we see you trying to.
No, I'm not trying to.
I know my way around the kitchen,
I'm just
Please,
Yes.
you try.
subtle signaling. Okay,
He's like, hey. Okay.
we've already
We're on 2.
established
We gotta get to 5.
We gotta go to 5. What's your
Number 3. I don't know if this is a condiment, but I treat it like one. Novi. Peanut
Ooh.
butter.
I guess you
Okay.
can put it in
Now I
your
know that's
veg,
not.
in your
Versatile.
meat.
So that's what I'm
Versatile.
meaning. It can
Ooh.
be sweet. It can be savory. So I'm gonna mix that thing with anything that's got leafy green and anything that looks like mupunga. There's some lily going in there.
Okay,
You know,
Manawevu
like
type shit. I love it.
so.
I love it.
So
You
peanut
just
butter.
unlocked
Did you
a core memory.
did you
Dovi
just
munyama.
out
Oh yeah.
Zimbabwe us?
Like bro, because on my list there's no doy.
I was about to. That's like I wouldn't have considered that. Did you
That's
just out Zimbabwe? Isusu. And I
per
kept in
bridge.
Zimbabwe. Per bridge.
No, listen, Gemma.
You're just gonna pull up on
Unfortunately,
a bridge and out
unfortunately, we're going to have to edit this part out.
We're cutting this one.
No,
We are going to have to
absolutely
edit.
not.
You can't show us up on. You can't do that.
You can't do
We're going to have to snip.
You
Bro,
can't.
the core memory that
Why?
just unlocked. Unoza dovi chimkuyu.
Bro, so my
bro.
granddad.
All
and
I
my
know is that
family-
both of y'all are going to the shop tomorrow to get some. That's if you're smart.
I've got some.
because
Okay, here's the question.
chimkuyu.
Here's a question. Here's a question. Is it smooth peanut butter or is it rough?
It depends on the vibe, but I love a bit of crunch, but I normally buy smooth.
Alright, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So it depends on my vibe, how I'm feeling.
This is a
in the
strong
moment.
list you're putting
It's a
up,
strong
Gemma.
one, you know.
This is a strong
It's-
Okay,
list.
next up on my list.
Yeah.
On my list, it's not Zimbabwean, but it's something. It doesn't have to be Zimbabwean because this is just like in my cupboard
Right.
that
Okay.
I'm like, okay,
Because you've been going strong, we'll give you leeway.
We'll give
one leeway. But maybe this might ruin everything. I don't know. I don't know how y'all feel.
You're good. You're good.
Olive oil.
So you see, unbeknownst to most,
Yeah.
olive oil isn't something you cook
Yeah.
with. It's a garnishing oil.
No, you put it on top, right?
You drizzle on top of everything that's been cooked. So,
but I'm a little bit of an olive oil
cook.
like I'll put that out. I'll just no, I won't cook with it. But like whatever I've made, I'm just like olive oil.
Drizzle. Yeah. That's the
Yeah,
point
a
I'm
little
making.
drizzle.
Exactly. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Some people think you cook with olive oil. You don't cook with olive oil.
No.
It's a garnishing oil.
It's cold. It's meant to stay cold.
It's a garnishing oil. You don't cook.
So you're agreeing with the equity.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
You're
It's
right.
a condiment. And I think that's from my travels, to be honest. That's something that
I guess it falls in the same line with
taste.
it falls in the same line with salt because we can't really claim salt as
Zimbabwean, for example. And then finally, ketchup, bruh.
Heinz.
It's
Rabroy.
Tomato sauce.
Rabroy.
sauce.
You know what I also do though? I like
Yeah.
that sauce you make where you put the mayonnaise and the tomato sauce and then it's like pink.
Ooh.
Dip your fries in.
Whatever
that is called.
We call it ketchup-naise.
Ketchup-naise, yeah.
Ooh.
Ketchup-naise.
This is a strong list. This is a very strong list, Gemma.
Well, that's why you asked me, right? Because you knew.
This is a very strong.
Knew.
There's on my list. There's definitely ketchup.
It's gotta be there. How can you not?
It's definitely ketchup. But for me, I think on a personal level, I'm throwing in aromat.
That was very close on my list as well. That was on my list.
Aromat.
That is also like another thing you will find in every Zimbabwean's cupboard.
You know, I would even go as far as saying there's almost there was the OG aromat, like the OG.
Oh my god,
bro! OG aromat. Bro, I feel like this aromat now doesn't have.
I thought I was tripping bowls. Bro. I thought I was tripping bowls when.
I think you are at this point. It sounds like.
No, I have to be.
You're going crazy.
Because I tried the aromat and I was like,
it's not aromatic.
It's
not.
Something ain't right.
I remember as a kid. Do you remember as a kid you sometimes would do this?
That's what I'm saying. Oh
Yep.
my
You can't do that with this aromat now because it
God
doesn't have the. I think there's
damn
way
it.
too many health inspectors these days who are like,
No.
Yeah.
there's this biodinosaur made that is
There's
no,
a yeah.
no.
The E numbers, cut them out.
If
Or
you're going to
I
die,
love that.
die. If people are
sodium.
going to die, die,
Sodium
bro,
chloride numbers. We have to limit it to some micromilligrams
no,
per. No,
bro,
I'm sorry to any doctors listening. Any doctors, any health professionals. Don't.
bro, because
You're gonna die.
that
Die.
Arma,
I'm
I
so
like
glad you validated that because I was peeved off
I
because I
love
was
it.
like this ain't the aromat I know.
This
What
isn't
is
the
it?
right stuff.
ladies and gentlemen, vinegar.
Yeah. I could drink
That
that straight, hey? You know when I
okay.
was a kid,
We've
I
gone
used
too
to
far,
like
Gemma.
get a
What you
little sip of vinegar.
are
Oh,
you talking brown
even right
vinegar?
now, my favorite white vinegar as well.
Why? Ooh, this
It gets these tingling up.
Like they're
like,
tingling right now. Like salt and vinegar chips. Whenever I think of salt and vinegar chips, my mouth starts tingling when I think of
I
it. It's crazy.
I
The
remember there was
first
a
crispy
time
you put
where
on your mouth, you get that.
the first time
I'm
I
getting
left
it
the
up.
UK, the first time I left the UK, I remember coming back with a 750 bottle of. When my wife looked at me, I was like, when I brought it from Zim, she's like, we have vinegar here. I was like, no, you don't.
No, I don't know
Not the
what the
same.
hell this
No,
is.
you no, you don't.
That ain't vinegar.
That's not your vinegar
Yeah.
is missing necessary ingredients.
That's
Yeah.
vinegar.
Like it, like nuts. This is what's
It's
happening?
the yeah.
It's
It doesn't have
something
the
else.
kick, man. I
Doesn't
love
have
it.
exactly. It doesn't have the kick. What
Yeah.
else? Munashi, what's on yours? What's in yours?
Also,
Well,
mine.
what you got? That hasn't come up yet.
I will put forth
Mm.
chakalaka.
Oh,
Atagalaga! Yeah.
oh.
I'm actually quite sad I've missed that one.
Let that
Mm.
man cook.
Let me
Let that
remove
man.
olive oil.
Let that
I
man.
remove olive oil.
You want to remove olive oil? Put chakalaka.
Atagalaga.
Okay,
Thank you.
chakalaka.
Chakalaka. I'll slap you, the young
Yeah.
chakalaka.
Yeah. Even
Um,
chutney. I also really like chutney.
look, Gemma, you've exhausted your 5. You're encroaching now. Stop that.
You,
Stop
I
that.
told you it
What
gets
is
very
this
contentious.
stupid rule?
It
Five?
gets
No,
very
no,
Five.
no,
contentious.
no,
This
no.
Who
You put
said
your
five?
5. You put something as basic as salt. That's not my problem.
That's not
Yeah.
basic. Don't you ever call salt basic?
sort of the you're calling Lord's wife basic.
Lord's wife, you
That,
turned
that
around.
woman died, you know.
She looked back. she,
She looked back at
she
it
went,
and power by Z. But do you know how cold? Do you know
I
how
can
cold
imagine
it was?
homegirl turned around and went, ah.
Ah, but do you know how cold it was though? That Lord said, hey, everyone,
Keep it
let's go.
chopping. I'm big. Keep moving.
Every
I told her, don't
hey,
look back.
that's cold.
Homegirl look
Uh,
back. That's a you thing. They
that's
watched
a
her.
you thing.
In fact,
It's a personal.
they didn't even look back to watch her crumble.
do, do, do you know the crazy thing that I'm now thinking is, Kuti, there's someone who was, of the people that were now passing by her and seeing her as a block of stone, there were people that were like,
With a piece of meat.
we might need this for later.
Popcorn boxes.
You know? But wow, guys, top five. I'm thinking, did we leave anything out?
Okay.
I don't
Did we
think
leave?
so.
No.
Munashe has too many. He's got
Well,
too many.
you clearly stole chutney,
Where
right? Which is what I was gonna throw in after.
where does this fall? Where does this fall? And this is highly contentious. As a people, I feel like we've never really figured out where this falls in
Can
the
I throw a
grand scheme of
Pyrenees
things.
in there?
You're doing too
Wait,
much.
where does
We
what
don't know what
fall?
that is.
I'm on the end of my chair.
Okay.
Nando's
Where does
Pyrenees.
coleslaw fall?
That's a
It's
side.
a salad.
That's a salad
No,
slash side.
no, 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 no.
No. We
I want you.
can't
I
put that
want you
as a
to listen.
condiment.
No. I want you to listen to what I'm asking you guys. I want to listen
Okay.
to what I'm asking you guys. There's the, and that's the reason why I phrased it the way that I did. There's what we now know that coleslaw falls as a side because it has been categorized in the civilized world as we have grown older. But when we were growing up, coleslaw was not given to us as a side.
I'll tell you the
It was
active.
a thing
Okay,
that was in the plate.
it's more so the active ingredient, the binding component, which would be salad
Mayonnaise.
cream. Salad cream.
Salad
Oh, salad
cream.
cream.
There's a difference between
Salad
mayonnaise
cream.
and salad cream.
Yeah.
Because that
yeah.
potato salad cream.
Potato
Coleslaw,
salad, baked
cream.
bean salad, baked bean salad.
Salad cream. That's listen, you see me? I be chefing. Oh my God. I dance in the kitchen. Jesus. Oh, that's my
Gemma, I want you to know that Munashe is the one man that you will see at a feminism, a feminist protest. A woman's place is in the kitchen. Is like, no.
That's me.
Well,
That's my thing.
Well, a lot of that's your thing, bro. And like power to you, man. Honestly, I mean, if you look at a lot of restaurants, like a lot of famous restaurants, a lot of the chefs are men. Majority of the chefs are men.
So
no.
And you also kind of with this open chef thing. Most of these chefs these days have been on some. I don't know. The ones that we see on Instagram have been on some.
It's always hot in the kitchen.
Okay.
Foremost,
Sorry.
You know.
Wait, tell me about these chefs on Instagram that have been on a thing. What does that even mean?
You know those chefs that are doing too much, like the Salt Bays, the ones with they always have a gimmick. Some of them have like open
guys
shirts.
where they're like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so Munashe would fall very much in that. Gimmicky.
Do you know that
they got a lot of followers for a reason, though?
Do you know that checkered?
Probably a lot of girls.
You know that checkered chopping block that they always do. It's hyper focused.
Yeah.
I've got one of those. I've got the stainless steel, like flipping frying pans. Listen, I go nuts. But anyway, Gemma, don't worry. When you come to do your show in Slough, and I host you, you're gonna get the experience. I'm gonna cook for you. It's all right.
Okay, cool. That sounds great.
You see me? I put where my money, where my mouth is at, and this, that, and the other. I'm not a yappy guy. You know, there's proof in the pudding. Don't worry. You come. You're gonna come.
And Munashe
I'm loving
also
the self-awareness in this talk.
I literally brought not too long ago a Japanese knife set because I was like,
amazing.
Because I'm not getting that. Right.
Yeah, and you know the Japanese knives are meant to be really, really, really good. What are they called again? There's a name for. I mean, not that I'm a chef. But there's a name of that metal.
I think it's like a shiitake, something like that. Don't worry, babes. When you come, I'm gonna cook for you. Pre-hard lunch.
Pre-hard lunch.
Deal.
Well,
deal.
What's your final submission, Candizo? You out of confidence?
No, everything. Some of them had been. I think I had 3. 2 of them Gemma had mentioned. So your tomato sauce and what else did you mention? Tomato sauce and salt. Because
salad cream.
I'm very much a guy that adds salt regardless of how much salt you've put. That's me.
I'm sorry, my own salt.
Yeah,
it's almost like your salt doesn't count. It's my salt.
People are like, but you haven't. You know,
it's in my handbag, but I've moved to the office.
so I can't get up
It's not
and
a
go get it.
feeling.
But yeah,
It's
it's in
a
my
state
bag
of
at
mind.
all
It's a
times.
still.
It's a
Because
state of mind. Salt
you
is
know
a
when I
state of
started
mind.
traveling and
Salt is a
then the
state
one
of
time you
mind.
put too much and you're like determined, like eating on the road and stuff.
Like,
Yeah.
Like sometimes you just need a
yeah, I
little
see
extra
you, my
With my
spice, and
boy.
it
chest.
fits so
With
free
my
in my
See
full
you, my
bag,
chest.
and I love all the
boy.
With my
flavors.
chest. But
And it
Gemma,
tastes like home, man. Like
hey,
I mean, if
thank you
you're
so much for
Zimbabwean
coming
and
to
you
spend
open
time
your
for Breed Sha.
it was in my
Thank
cupboard
you.
growing up in the kitchen. You know what I mean? Like
I've
it's
loved
always
it.
been in the house, so it's just
I've
it's
loved
like
being
I feel like if
cupboard
you're
in
Zimbabwean
You
and
know.
you
But
open
before
any
you
cupboard,
dip,
yeah, like nine out
before
of
you
ten
dip,
cupboards in Zim, you'll find a
talk us
little
through your
one of
Rolling
the flavors,
Stones
lemon and
album
herb, or a
cover
little, spicy
shenanigans.
barbecue add-on.
Oh my gosh.
So
Yeah, so
definitely,
I was
spice up my
featured
life
as
with a little
one of
chili.
the
My number two
Future of
condiment though
Africa
comes in
artists
really,
on the
really
Rolling
close.
Stone Africa
Soul
music.
future music.
Soul.
Africa, Rolling
Yes.
Stone Africa,
Soul.
which is huge. I mean,
It's
crazy.
a big
And
thing.
Hey,
yeah,
hey,
super
yo.
super grateful. That was so much fun and so cool to be a part of and to represent them. And yeah, they were such amazing
But
artists.
it's a condiment,
From
right?
East Africa
It's a you adding flavor
it's
onto
really
your
really
food,
cool to be involved. But would you say? Yeah, and I loved the interview, like Rolling Stone. I mean, that's kind of a dream of every artist, right? To
Yeah.
be featured on
Yeah,
Rolling
I
Stone.
can understand
And
that.
to be a young cover girl with her
We've lost
gems.
him.
Hey,
So yeah, that was amazing.
hey, you look badass. I'll give it to you.
Hey,
Hey,
daddy.
hey,
Who insert the oh,
Albertina.
but yeah, yeah,
We've lost Munashe.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, I love
Yeah,
it.
but I mean, at this point, people know where to find you. Gemma Griffith, Gemma Music, Gemma
Yes,
on lines, Gemma with the
yes.
chili, Gemma teaching people Borodale. Do you know
Jima
how much?
Chirisa. Don't
Yeah,
I
skip
to
love
ask
past
it.
that.
lunch.
Don't skip past that. Don't do that. Don't do that to me. Go,
So,
go ahead. Go
is there
ahead like you
something
ain't
that you
heard
want to
that.
plug? Is there something that you want to plug? Before we bounce, something that we might have skipped
Yeah,
past. Mm,
hell yeah, just the album, man. Go stream it, go
mm,
watch it.
yeah,
Such cool features on the project. Yeah,
very cool
and it's a
features.
young debut. I know,
Very,
crazy.
very cool features. I think for me, uh, the song that obviously Holy is an easy standout track because I mean it's number two on the albums,
Golds
but
was a
Yeah.
slapper.
you know that the anything with Natty O, you kind of know where it's headed, don't you?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's Natty O, ABX, ABX, you know. But
Yeah.
I didn't want to
Ability
ask you this. I
station.
feel like I still shouldn't ask you this because it's a very difficult position to put. But do you have a favorite on the album?
No, funny enough. Like I think
Yeah.
sometimes when you have a project you do, but I think this project I could start listing favorites, but it would end up a large pile of the songs for different
Yeah.
reasons.
Mm,
So actually, funny enough, no,
Yo!
I don't have a favorite.
yeah.
Isn't that cool? I'm glad.
That's nice. It's a good sign.
That's a
Yeah,
good sign because I mean,
Very good sign.
all these kids, these are your kids, right? You can't be picking favorite because
that's the thing. Like you really are. Like they're all little parts of yourself. It's like picking the favorite part of who you are as a person. Like that might also change one day to the next as well.
yeah. Nah, Gemma, thank you so much. I definitely
Mwah.
foresee people saying Kuti part two. When we're
Part
like
two.
let's do a part two, Gemma. The people have their own questions. So thank you so much for coming hang out in the Boy Shepherd Bridge, man.
Ah, guys,
Yeah.
it's been so good. Next time, let's do this with food though, with our condiments.
Right. A proper
No,
we have the chef.
when
We
you
have
come to Slough
the problem is the option that
and
Munasha
I
is
host
presenting
you,
excludes me. That's the
Oh, I
problem.
see.
you
So
can come. You can come. Come.
Oh
and
my
leave
gosh,
early. And leave early.
Come.
Eh, all
sounds
right.
like a plan.
I've got a big set of crockery, cutlery, all of that. I've got a dinner table that occupies at least 4 people. Don't worry, we're good.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of the one and only Boys Repa Bridge. Signing out. It's Gemma. The dogs are also signing out. Everyone is signing out. Everybody had a good
Everybody
time.
dipping.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah,
gotta
yeah,
go to
yeah.
work.
Welcome.
I gotta save my voice because
Welcome. Yeah. Welcome. This is Black and Ford. 2 black kings and we got that sauce. They don't really make them like we know more. Back truck Teddy that cause we know more than anybody you know. Jokes. Kova chango shika madiko my boss. Hano pakazada my friends, name my ops munu wese adi welcome. This is Black and Ford.